Welcome back to another Warhammer the Old World Battle Report. Today we're going to be going through Game 2 of the RTT I played in on the weekend. You can see my list in the last video, but round 2 I'm playing against a Khorne Warriors of Chaos list, which we'll go through. He had Chaos Lord with the Mark of Khorne on a Manticore with the Ogre Blade and a Brazen Collar. So not the dragon, but still pretty killy character. Not the same number of wounds or the same output from the dragon though, but still capable of killing things. 22 Warriors of Khorne with hand weapon shield, 5 Warhounds with Vanguard, and another 5 Warhounds with Vanguard, 8 Chaos Ogres with the Mark of Khorne, 4 Dragon Ogres, and then 2 Gore Beast Chariots, both with the Mark of Khorne. So, deployment. I put the Big Knights of the Realm, the Grail Knights in the center with the Duke and Elise. The Pegasus is sort of hoping to play around this building, and then it was the scenario was flank attack, so I just had my 1 Knights out on this flank. My opponent's flanking force was, I believe, the Dragon Ogres and the Gore Beast Chariot, and maybe the Warhounds, but he might just have put them there. The dogs are in marching column. Then he put big line of ogres, big line of warriors, and I forgot when I was deploying that if I do charge them, they all count as being in base contact with the lance. So I probably should not have deployed in the lance formation, but we'll see. And then that's his Manticore Lord, and then another Gore Beast Chariot. So I prayed for the lady, and my opponent went first. That's just another picture of deployments. You see the flanking force over here. He pushed his Warhounds up. His line sort of shuffled forward a bit, and then the Manticore flew and pivoted. Dragon Ogres moved up. My turn. I think I did successfully blow the Falcon Horn, and the Green Knight did appear back here and charged into the rear of the Gore Beast Chariot, caused 2 wounds to it, forced it to fall back in good order away from him, which meant it went through the Manticore, and then ended up right here and got to reform, and the Green Knight overran into the Manticore, who has an Ogre Blade. So it did, I did choose, I think I chose to overrun here, just because, I think, yeah, he's going to die, but then he'll probably come back to life, and it stops the Manticore from getting a charge on my Knights, which, arguable if that makes a difference, because what happened was they declared a charge on the Warhounds. No, I think that they just, yeah, I think they fought the Warhounds. Oh no, yeah, they charged the Warhounds, who fled, and I thought that I could end. I was hoping to roll low. I didn't roll swift side. I was hoping to end up back here, and then when I get charged by the Dragon Ogres, I can countercharge, but that's really his only threat over here if I've tied up the Manticore. But I rolled high, that's what happened, contacted the Warhounds, killed them, and then failed on my reform, because what I would have done is reformed into closed order, I think, to try and, I've been playing that the reform on closed order is you keep the center of the unit the same. Don't know how that's actually supposed to be played. But which would have sort of sucked my front rank back a bit, given me the space, because Dragon Ogre's movement 7. I was also mistaken in thinking that they were movement 6. But anyways, the and the Pegasus Knight sort of flew over the building. The hounds can't charge them. They're out of charge range. But they're threatening. So, yeah, and the Knights of the Realm have just moved up on the side. That's just another picture of the same turn. Or this fight has happened and the Green Knight has been killed. Is perhaps what's happened. In the same position? Yes. No, that was my turn. So the Green Knight hasn't died yet. My opponent's turn. The Green Knight has died. He's reformed his Manticore to put my Duke in the front. The Gorby's Chariot charged my Duke. And the Gorby's Chariot has Killing Blow on the Gorby's monster. I did... So I think his impact hits did a wound. Then he went with his stuff. And the Gorby's Chariot, I don't think he did it. I think I saved the wounds from the riders. The Gorby's Chariot did got 2 hits, rolled a 1 and a 6 for the wounds, so a Killing Blow. I get no armor save, and I made the Blessing of the Lady 5+ save, which kept my Duke alive. That would have been a very sad way for him to die on turn 2 of the game from a Chariot, and would have, yeah, that's basically, yeah, that would have decided the game, I think, a 5+ roll. But no, the Duke survives that, and then his Chariot, his Pegasus, then does a wound from his regular attacks, and then a wound from his stomps. And yes, so my opponent then failed both his armor saves, and the Chariot died, which left my Duke free to charge in his turn. The Dragon Ogre is charged in here, and there's no way that many of them survived. Yes, so I guess I was just showing the picture of the Duke surviving. The lance is blunted. He only killed 2 of them, I guess, or three of them. So they did just... I had War Banner. I don't think I did a wound, so I think I just ended up giving ground with them. And then on my turn, the Green Knight reappeared out of the woods. Let's go back to here. The Green Knight reappeared out of the woods, charged the rear of the Chaos Lord, just to give me some combat res, and maybe run him down if he does flee. The Duke charged into the front. The Grail Knights charged into the Dragon Ogres here. Lise cast Plague of Rust on the Dragon Ogres to help out. And we just continued to jockey over here. And the Duke rolled a 6 on his wound roll for Monster Slayer, and my opponent had a 5-up ward from Scarce Armor, which he failed, and the Manticore was removed from the game from full wounds. So that's what we pay him the big bucks for. That's why he gets to be the Duke. And this combat, the Grail Knights rolled very well. I think they killed a Dragon Ogre and did 2 more wounds. And then I think they had the Blessing of the Lady on them, perhaps. So they didn't take any wounds on the swing backs. He killed 3 Knights of the Realm, who maybe even did a wound or 2 back, but he forced him. I won the combat, and And I think he rolled an 11 for his break test or something, and they broke and ran, and then they got run down by the cavalry. So that was that was a huge turn of events. The Pegasus Knights flew over the ogres to get in behind them. Something I have never really noticed before, and my opponent pointed out to me, is that flying units don't have to test to march, which is just another reason why fly is amazing. At least cast Spiritual Vortex here, which I think bounced through the ogres for a couple times. And I've reformed into close order formation, thinking that if I do charge the knights, it'll maybe cut down a few of the return attacks if I can get both units to fight sort of at one end. My opponent reformed his warhounds, so they're no longer in closed order or marching column. He moved his ogres up a bit, turned his chaos warriors, turned his Gorby's chariot, but didn't have any charges to make on that turn. I ran away with the last two Knights of the Realm. The Grail Knights turned around, and the Duke flew into the middle. The Green Knight moved around the other side, but stayed out of charge arc of the chariot. And the Pegasus Knights have now moved down to this end of the Dragon Ogres with the thought that they can work on them with the Knights of the Realm together. I think this Spiritual Vortex, I think, has killed 2 ogres at this point, which is pretty good. Let's see. Yep, that was my move. His move, the chariot moves back around. He redresses ranks to go wider with the Chaos Warriors, just to try out some Line Hammer, and continues to just stall my knights with his little unit of warhounds. I believe what happened here. So the knights charge the warhounds. I think break them, overrun, and I think they contact the ogres. The Pegasus Knight charges the ogres, and the Duke charges the ogres. And they kill a bunch of ogres. I think the Duke gets at least one killing blow on an ogre. A few get to swing back and they kill a Pegasus Knight, but then they are maybe double outnumbered with the number who are left, and so they break and are ran down by the Duke. And my Grail Knights reform into close order in anticipation of charging the massive line. My opponent reforms Chaos Warriors again, and I think the Gorby's chariot headed around the side. What happened to that Gorby's chariot? I think the Grail Knights maybe have charged it. That's what happened. Grail Knights charged it and then reformed. So he couldn't quite get everyone in my front arc, so there was still one Knights of the Realm on the flank, but we go for a giant multi-charge and kill them down to a man, which was pretty funny. So the counter to Line Hammer is to charge your entire army into his one unit. But yeah, good game, great opponent. I'm feeling like the Duke it's just a huge luck game. It's like the Duke had to roll a 5+ to live, and he needed to roll a 6 to win, and my opponent had to not roll a 5+ to stay alive. Otherwise, I think I do have a chance against the Ogre Blade because I'm not taking the multiple damage of Stran's Locket, but the Chaos Lord is still going to put the hurt on the Duke potentially if he rolls well with his, I mean, yeah, being Khorne. He has an additional attack as well, and I can't remember if he had any Gaze of the Gods at that point, but just some couple lucky dice rolls, and the Duke was the hero of the day. And yeah, good game. So 2 wins go. So going to the last round, I was up against a Dark Elf list that also had 2 wins. So look for that in the next video, and thank you for watching.